Abdul.
Hey, what's going on, man?
It's good, bro. I'm gonna let you know we're gonna be waiting for Mohammed because this guy has African errands.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it's his life, bro. What are you up to, bro? I feel like I haven't spoken to you in a minute.
Yeah, man, it's been a very long time, really.
I know,
Just been
bro.
busy, just been living my life right now and just trying to, you
Even
know,
what? What'd you say? You got married?
no, not yet. Uh, but just trying to keep busy,
Oh, keep
uh,
busy.
keep to myself. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, how? Yeah, you have been busy. I see you now posting a lot of motivational stuff on your stories on IG.
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna tell you something right now. It might become a surprise, but I'm gonna take a little detox from social media.
I saw that post. Why is that? Because sometimes I do see you, but like, what's different this time?
I think it's good to have something in moderation. It's good to have something in, you know, kind of not always be on something all the time.
Yeah.
It's
No, I
it's
agree.
you have to have a healthy relationship with something, and that means like taking time away from something in order to really I guess solidify your relationship or to make it better.
I couldn't agree more, bro. Sometimes you need that I guess to deviate yourself from social media because obviously it has a lot of toxic energy and a lot of like negative stuff. So sometimes you have to just like leave and say, I'm gonna be to myself for the next month or two.
100%, yeah. And I think you feel that when you get off of whatever it is that you're falling into, whatever obsession that you have, you kind of take time away from it by changing your way of living or by anything, just by doing something extremely different to that what you're doing right now. Because you
Yeah.
can tell if it's becoming an addiction or if it's becoming something really big, you would take a lot of time off of it and you would really make some drastic changes to how you're living and what you're doing.
Yeah, honestly, dude, like I could tell you one thing that a lot of people who spend a lot of it's actually proven if you spend more time on social media, you're actually much more depressed because you would rather view what other people have or what they don't have as opposed to working on yourself. And obviously, you can use social media as a platform to grow, which is there's nothing wrong with that. But
100%.
but I feel the consumption of social media can obviously affect mental health.
Yeah, and the funny thing is like this whole entrepreneur thing that's going on Instagram and trying to be your own boss and everything. You always see these people, they're always on Instagram. And sometimes I look
Yeah.
at that and I inspire to be something like that,
Hmm.
to be my own boss, to be someone who's on my own time. But at the same time, you have to look at that and be like, whoa, like this guy's been doing this for so long. But that's their dedication. That's their life, like
Yeah.
that's what they got to
Well,
do. They have to do that.
then again, no one knows people, but like no one knows themselves better than themselves, right? So, for example, you see all this, like for example, when you see everybody to be an amazing entrepreneur, but you also don't know what they go through internally, right? So, for example, what I could put on Instagram, or where you could put on Instagram, or anybody else, could just be, I guess, basically a pot, like a spit. I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, bro. Jeez. I guess a time in your life where it's like for 5 minutes, like, yo, this is what my life is. But realistically, sometimes people want validation from other people. They want to feel accepted. That's why social media also does deteriorate someone's mental health because they're like, oh, I'm getting all this validation from people. I'm getting a
Hmm.
thousand comments, but does that really evaluate who I really am?
And maybe you could justify their way of living by saying that, hey, you know what? They don't look for validation. For me, I'm not that type of breed, at least not now. You never know what happens in the future. You never know like
Hmm.
how your life changes. But as someone who's see most of those people, they've been doing this for so long that they just it's a grind to them. It's just like second nature. It's just like
Yeah,
waking up in
no,
the morning, they know what they got to do, they got a schedule, and they wake up at a good time and they get their day started because they know they have a responsibility. They know that they've been
no,
working
for
this hard, they got
sure.
to keep it up.
You
It's
know, but the
hard.
thing, yeah, but the thing is too, like for people who are listening, I've obviously known you for like 3 years now, and
Mhm.
seeing you on your Instagram and seeing you in person, getting to know obviously like my little bro right here. You're the same person. So when you're obviously captivated, like when you're preaching on social media or like I see you in person, I don't see a differentiator. It's not like you're being one person on social media, that you're being another person when I see you. No, you're the same person.
Yeah, I'm very authentic when I'm very authentic when it comes to what I'm saying, and especially if I'm saying something really meaningful, and especially when I'm with close friends
Yeah.
or anything like that, anything to do with that.
Well, and also because I remember, like I know you're a bit like you're big on a lot of people who influence you. So that's also good. That means you have a lot of people that are around you that have a good environment around you that are influencing you to do good stuff. And that's actually that's an amazing like friendship that you have with people that you're talking to.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, 100%.
You know,
Yo, I'm gonna tell you something weird. I had a I had a dream of you, bro. In my dream, you were in my dream,
this guy misses me that
bro.
much. Eh?
I've been having some really weird dreams, man.
Like,
Just
what's the weird dream, bro? We'll
all
talk
right.
about it.
So
What's the weird?
this one was weird. This one wasn't that bad, but it was just really odd. So in my dream, apparently it was like the end of the world,
Yeah.
and it was like a zombie apocalypse or something. And my house it didn't look like my house. My house looked like was very old and like
Hmm.
isolated. We were around a lot of like
Yeah.
greenery and stuff, and relatively small house. And I just remember that no one was in the house but me. I was watching TV. You come knocking on the door and you just walk in. And then you're like, you're like, yo, what's going on? What's going on? And, and all this stuff. And then, and then, bro, we have a conversation. You say, bro, I have a proposition for you. You pull out like two checks. They say like $6,000. Both of them say $6,000. You're like, bro, I'm handing one to you. I was so confused because this is such a weird dream. And then all of a sudden, right after that, right, exactly right after that, my entire family was in the house this whole time. There was another family that we had no idea who the hell they are, like why they're
Hmm.
doing here. It was a weird dream,
You know, it's funny because it's funny because I had maybe a couple of days ago you were in my dream too. This is actually funny that you
bruh.
mentioned this.
Dude, I,
I'm
I've
not gonna lie.
I've been told by some people that I've like they've dreamt of me like killing them or something. Like three people.
No, sometimes like no, my dream was just basically like we honestly for me was just like you were like we were talking, but it's not like it was like me, you, and like obviously like Lead was inside. I'm like I'm not sure what the hell is going on, but like long story short, is we were all talking, vibing. But sometimes dreams can send a message, or can I guess in a sense it can warn you or do
Abu,
stuff like that.
yeah, go ahead. What's up?
I was gonna say sometimes dreams can warn you, or like sometimes your subconscious mind is trying to tell you something, or you're thinking about something too much. So sometimes it just like it warns you. Like for example, because I haven't, I haven't, I almost haven't seen almost in a year and a half, which is crazy to think that.
Whoa.
I know, but it's been a minute still. Your boy's been hibernating, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been hibernating.
I had another dream too. I had a dream where
This
I was
guy and his
actually
dreams.
I had a dream where
Preach.
I was in a cult,
Cult or cult?
like a cult.
Oh, cult, bro. What cult were you in, bro?
It was weird, man. So and I remember it like really clearly, but I remember it in like increments. Like I remember like parts of this dream, obviously, because when you wake up, you only remember about 3% of your dreams.
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
in this dream, everything I'm in this like prison bus with a bunch of other kids. I was
Were
like
you going
really
to jail,
young.
bro?
Well, we were actually basically it was basically a jail, but like worse. And
Hmm.
we went inside this place. We stop. It was a very bright and sunny day. We stop at this like like every cult has like some building or like some secret like cabin or whatever in the woods, right? There's like always something to do with cults and like forests, like remote areas that people don't really know
Yeah.
about. So I'm going to this place and we stop outside of a castle, just like a huge castle, and then
Yeah.
all the kids get out of this bus and we all head to um this big ass place, and everything inside is old. Like I walk inside, everything is like there's no electricity. Everything's powered by canteen oil lights and like lamps, candles, and all that stuff, like torches. And it felt like I was in a set of a medieval movie or something like that.
Mm.
and
Well,
um
yeah.
and then all of a sudden, what were you gonna say? What were you gonna say?
No, no. I'll say my question after, but yeah, continue with your dream.
All of a sudden, I go into my cell and my cell is basically like a cage. It's like a prison cell. Like that's what it is, with a
Yeah.
bunker. And I think there's like not a window, or there's like there. It was very vague. Everything was just
Mm-hmm.
very like old and dark.
Yeah.
And we go inside. All the people who are working there are like guards. They're all wearing like medieval armor, and they got uh, like swords and plated armor and clothing and stuff like that, and chains. It was weird. Next thing I remember is I was in my cell, and guess who's my cellmate, bro?
Who?
Out of nowhere. I don't even know how I jumped this up, but it was Robert Patterson.
Jeez.
Just really weird. Just man.
Well, it could mean a lot of stuff because like I have a question. We spoke so much about dreams. What are your dreams? Like, what do you like? What things do you dream about to accomplish? What does Abdul want to accomplish, bro?
Hmm. Man, I think my main goals, like long-term goals, if you're are you saying?
Just like anything, like for like it could be long term goals. It could, like yeah, long term goals, obviously. Like, things that you have like dreamt of like now or as a kid that you hope and that you want to achieve.
I think being able to secure my financial future. That's just one thing. Not to be rich. Like I don't want to. It's not about that. It's just about being
Financially free.
financially free. Just being well financed for myself and for my family.
Yeah.
Like I could be able to travel if I want to, or I'll have free time to do whatever. I don't need to work until I'm like 80, right? But like obviously I need
Well,
to be on that grind.
that's what society teaches you, bro. They want you to
Yeah,
work until you're 80.
exactly. You know what's the crazy thing is? My professor in class, he was talking about how school is practically set up for you to fail. And
Of course.
he's a professor. Like he's a professor at a university. He studied science. This and like this guy's in his like 30s and stuff like that. And it was really upsetting to hear that, because you think about all the people who go into school. Basically everyone goes into school. Most people go into school. And most people, are not bound for success. Why? It's
Yeah.
because the system is set up for failure. It's a system that's set set up for you to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on tuition. And I don't like bragging about it all the time, because I'd say it all the time. And
Hmm.
like it's a very sensitive topic for people like my parents or something like that. But the whole entire point is it's my future. We're talking about me going into an institution that's meant to
Yeah.
teach you to live your life. And people, why do people go to school? So that they can get a job. They can get a really high paying job,
Yeah.
and don't need to go to work at McDonald's, right? Like that's the
Yeah.
whole point.
Shout out to McDonald's. I'm just joking.
Shout out to McDonald's. But and there's some truth to that too. Like working at McDonald's, there's a sense
Well,
of there's a sense of like I'm not saying like you should work as a as someone who flips burgers and maybe you work your way up, but I think that if McDonald's, there's a system. You know how McDonald's works, right? You know about
yeah.
how it's made. You know how about the how everything's made and why it's a multi-billion-dollar company that it is today.
Well, to add on to your point, talking about school, like I've always said that school is not the only way of succeeding, right? Obviously, like if you want to enter, you want to become a doctor, a lawyer, engineer. I want to say like accountant. There are
100%.
certain fields that you have to need school for because obviously there's certificates and the stuff that you have to get. Now, there's certain people that I look at. I'm like, this guy is not a school type of person because like if you question authority, if you question people, which or if you are always I want to say like a rebel, but not a bad way, in a good way, where it's like you don't agree with what society is teaching you, you want to go outside the bloom and do your own thing. That's when you know school's not really meant for you. Now, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
culturally, for like whether it's like South Asians or the Arab, Middle Eastern community, whoever it may be, yeah, school is a big thing. Like your parents want to see you graduate. That's why you're saying it's a sensitive topic for parents to hear. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna drop out and do whatever. They'll be like, bro, you mud? Like you dropping
Yeah.
out? Why?
No, 100%. I agree with that. And
Yeah,
it's
man.
it's it's sad because like that's the system that most people are put through. Most people are meant to say, hey, like you should go to school and then maybe you'll get a job. It's like, I worked so hard for this, and now I'm working another 20 years, 20 plus years, 10 plus years to pay off loans and then find a good
Yeah,
job and then get married maybe, and then possibly have a child to if I could support it, or
yeah.
while while you're living in a 2 bedroom apartment with like very small, like it doesn't seem fair at all. Like it does not seem fair.
Well, think about it this way. Like for example, there's obviously like I always use a dumb example, but it works. I'm just like I always told my like one of my friends, I'm like, there's always multiple ways to get the number six in math. You can add, multiply, subtract, and divide. Even within those adding, there's multiple ways of finding the number six. Meaning in success, you can do success a lot of ways. And
Hmm.
I always use the example. I'm like, yes, right now you may not be getting paid big money, but I don't look for the money. I look for the fact that I can leave a legacy.
Yeah.
I want to be that guy that I don't care how much money I make at the end of the day. You said it earlier today. You want to ensure that you love what you do, and that looking back, nothing can ever take that away from you. Because I was like, what?
Hmm.
Even I can use like Mosaic as an example, and I was like one of the coordinator. Bro, I hated my life.
Yeah.
I hated my life. I'm like, I would go to the office, bro. Wallah, hour or 2 hours, I'm doing nothing in my in my office. I'm just like sitting on my phone on Instagram.
Yeah, dude, it's I remember Mosaic. Yeah, you brought up that name. It's like, whoa, Mosaic, how did you know? How did you still remember? And I
Yeah,
also want to clarify, like when I talk about school, like
yeah,
people think I'm always trashing school or something. I think school is good if you want to go the safe route. That's not a bad thing. Like some people just don't want to take the risk. They don't want to spend 10 years trying to build something, and if it doesn't come to fruition, listen, man, you can always go
yeah.
back to school. You always have school. If you want to do that, if that's the route you want to go down, do it. You know what I mean? Like you don't need to be an entrepreneur if you don't want to. If you find satisfaction and respite in being, you know, a worker at a company or someone who works for someone, I mean, if you find that is your calling, then you go ahead and do it. That's up to you.
Well, I think we have to clarify there's a huge difference between education and school.
Oh yeah. How, oh,
School's a business. School's a big business. School's a business where they're trying to like deteriorate kids, make them go bankrupt or debt for a piece of paper. Now,
mhm.
mind you, education, for example, like you when you first entered the forex game, for a lot of people that don't know,
Yeah.
you entered the forex game. That's education. You taught yourself. You would take your time. I know you would. You would take your time to study, ask the questions that have to be asked because you want to get the best at your craft. If you're not, if and that's really important. Now, all it is, like as you said, we're not. I'm not trashing on school. School is definitely good, amazing for people. I know for me personally, it's not. That's why at the age of 25, I'm like, thank God I'm done because now I can focus on what I really want to do.
Hmm.
But people, if you want to do anything, whether it's like doctor, engineer, you want to be making $50,000 a year, make sure you be the best at what you really do because I feel like if you're not able to commit to 100%, why live at all? You know?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I'm studying environmental science. Obviously, that's a very big field,
Of
and
course.
yeah, it's extremely it's kind of daunting, really, because in a sense that I'm studying about all this in school, yet I also have to realize the idea of hey, I got finances. If I want to raise a family and all that stuff, like I gotta meet those expectations.
Well, you're also young, dude. Like, how old are you?
Yeah, I'm 20 years old. That's
You're
very young.
20. Yeah, you're a young man, bro. Like, inshallah, bro. Like, by the time you're my age now, like when you're 25, like, hopefully you won't make the mistakes that your friends made. And that's why it's good to ask these questions because the less mistakes you can make that people have made that are crucial, the more that we're on the right path. And you're young, bro. Like, I feel like you have an amazing path. I'm like along the way, inshallah.
Yeah, yeah. You never know. I mean, I'm still developing as a person. Everyone is. You're still so underdeveloped, even by the age of 25, even by the age of
Of course, bro.
you know, and I feel like people rush things, man. It's just like
It's
whoa. It's like
people are rush things because they feel insecure that they're not able to do. Like for example, I'll give you an example. Like right now, if me and you are like if I'm driving on the road, you're also driving on the road, right? If I look at you while you're driving, I'm not looking what's in front of me. I'm gonna have a car accident, right?
hmm.
So basically, what I'm trying to say is, focus on your own life. Everybody has their own timeline. Like Abdul, if you
Yeah.
if you start if you start earning like $500,000 in the next 2 years with the forex, that's your hard work and dedication. It does
Hmm.
not mean that the next person, that your next friend may not be able to do that, but it's not in his timeline right now. Maybe because he hasn't gained a full experience. You said it yourself. Like you're always gonna be, the older you get, you'll still be unexperienced with something. You have to learn it, and
Hmm.
people have to start looking at their own life and say, what can I do better to like promote myself? Not don't get. I don't like it when people compare themselves to other people. Like you're making yourself sound like a loser.
Yeah. Yeah. No. No. I agree.
Yeah, fam. But aside from that, bro, like, what's new with Abdul? Like, what new projects do you? What new things are you doing to keep company in this quarantine? What are you doing since quarantine?
I've been reading more books a lot lately.
More
Just been trying to
books?
more books. Just been
What
trying to.
what's your favorite book?
Okay, right now I'm reading this book called "The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Bleep." Oh, look who's here!
Mohammed.
How's everyone?
Well,
It's
everyone
good,
is
man.
good. So me and Abdul
All
were
is
just
well.
basically roasting you for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
I know I'm playing. So just to catch you up, me and Abdul were basically talking about education in school, talking about dreams, and but basically like we were basically just talking about how just before you legit joined, how school is basically not for everybody.
Yeah, I was just basically explaining how it's kind of a sad truth that I'll actually tell you, Mo, that my professor was he's a science professor, but he basically sat us down in a class and told us that school basically set up for people to fail. Most people, not every single person, but most people. That most people who go through this kind of safe system are gonna have, they're gonna have a hard time finding a job because the thing is that nowadays it's not about what kind of degree you have, I guess, or the fact that you've gone to school to really get a job. There's a lot of people out there who don't have degrees, who don't have any type of education, and still have made a name for themselves. Not saying that that's not the case. Like for most people, some people have gone through the school system, but I was explaining to him that you know this professor was confessing that his whole like educational academic career was about working extremely hard in a institution that cost him thousands and thousands of dollars, many years of his early 20s, and for the most part, like it's really hard to find a job right after that, and to be
Yeah.
financially free, to be financially secure. That's one of the most
Well,
important things.
let me ask you a question. So obviously, when I first met you, you were really into like the music era, right?
Yeah,
What made you do the switch from music to forex? Like, what was it about forex that you said I'm gonna go with this avenue?
I feel like they're very two different fields, and I was looking at like not about I kind of like lost interest in music very, very slowly, only because I felt like, it was very time consuming and it just wasn't really my thing. Like I just wasn't feeling, I wasn't in the zone when I was making music. It was kind of more of a hobby,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And you might have seen me like on my story a lot, post videos of me freestyling, and I like freestyling still nowadays. Like I like freestyling, right? But
Yeah.
it wasn't something that I was like, you know what, maybe if I do this, like I don't know if I'll be able to like really enjoy this. I don't know if like, and also and this wasn't the main factor, but also the idea of what the sacrifices you have to make to become an artist. And while you're an artist, the fact that there's people throwing deals at you and stuff like that, and some of these deals are, that means like, hey, we'll collect 40% of your revenue or something like this, or whatever money you make is
Yeah.
coming to us.
Yeah.
That's always a risky thing, to be your own boss, your own manager. That was completely different. That was like, it kind of caught my eye more. I just wanted to be
Mm-hmm.
someone who was independent. I don't want to be anyone who's working under someone else,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's basically what it was.
Mohammed, you sound quiet there.
Oh no, I'm listening to his answer. So yeah, pretty much like you guys have been talking about school education. Obviously, it's good to go to school. That's one
I
thing I don't
agree.
want to put out there, that you shouldn't go to school. I think the one thing that people don't really talk about or even notice is that yeah, you don't have to go to school to become successful, as we all know. There's some people who've done it, but they're very few in numbers, right? And the reason why
Mm-hmm.
is because they did the work. It, it doesn't really it doesn't matter if you go to school or not. It's all about if you do the work. It doesn't matter if you go to school, because
Yeah.
you go to school for any type of program, but obviously probably the reason why you're doing the program is because your friends or your parents and they persuaded you for all these years. So you did it, you didn't like it and stuff. But it doesn't mean
Mm-hmm.
that there isn't a program in school that's meant for you that you actually might like and stuff, right? So for people to say like, "Oh, school is bad," doesn't make any sense because they haven't really tried or even seen that was there a possibility of a program that actually matched their needs, their qualities, and skill, right? And on the flip
Yep.
side, if you do not do school, okay, everything's on your own. Cool. So therefore, you need experience. A lot of people don't know what to do as far as to gain experience. So therefore, they actually like latch onto the idea of just chasing something that's never going to exist because they don't know where to start, and therefore they never built upon the foundation of it. So it's kind of, yeah, it doesn't matter if you go to school or not. You just got to do the work, right? And I think when it comes to people, as far as education and school systems, obviously we know they could do a better job because obviously times are changing, kids are evolving as far as visuals, technology, and everything. So yeah, the school could be outdated as far as the formula in the system, but it's never. It shouldn't be seen as a weapon that's there to, I guess, hinder a kid's progression or to traumatize as far as their outreach or opportunities in life, right? So that's one thing I want to say.
That goes back to the districts and training teachers to be much more involved with their students, because obviously, like, there are teachers, Mohammed, obviously we grew up together, so obviously we know about certain teachers that they weren't the best in terms of like communicate or conveying the message to you when whatever the circumstances may be. But school, I guess I want to say the hatred of school or the liking of school happens at a young age. Like, I remember people would say, "Oh, I hate school," but like, I feel for me, I always found it like kind of BS because like I was on the next level. Like, I was on the next level where I would try to run away from school. But not saying that everyone. Like, this guy's laughing. This is true, bro. I used to skip in grade 5. That's how bad I was.
No, I was just gonna say, like, that whole point of school, that school is not a bad thing. Mo, I 100% agree with you. I actually do just drop out, and like, you should think about what you're doing. You should think about your actions first before you take that stuff, because me and Osama were just, when you were in here, me and Osama were just explaining that, there's nothing wrong with being someone who wants to follow that system. If you want to go to school, if you find respite, and if you find that your calling is working at a company or going at a program in school, 100% do it, because that's the important key. Is if you're happy about that, you won. That's your mission.
Of course.
It kind of goes back to a sense like I guess people who it's probably influences. Like I was telling Abdul earlier before you joined Mohammed how he was basically, I forgot what we were talking about. I was basically just saying that he has a lot of good influences around him. That's why he's always like not making like, I guess, crucial decisions. That he's always on the right path, because obviously he's young too, which gives him the advantage, and two, that he has people who are to give him good advice. And I feel, for example, like if you at a young age want to be a basketball player, right? You're gonna start looking at like players like LeBron, Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, Steph Curry, all these other players that are like, they're the best in the league. So you're going to start going out of your way to research, where can I go to the best basketball academy? Boom, 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 boom. So I can go to the NBA if you're actually that amazing. If you want to be a doctor, obviously, some people know at a really, really young age what they want to do. I was fortunate enough that I do know what I want. I do know what I want to do at a young age. Some people, they know after. They have to go through certain like experiences to say, oh, you know what? I actually want to be an actor. I actually want to be an engineer. But my point is, whatever people want to do, you have to do it the best at your ability. Because I was watching a video, and this guy was basically saying, what does Nike stand for, right? And everyone's replying back, just do it. And he was like, what does Adidas stand for? And he was like, nothing is impossible. Impossible is nothing. And then he asked, what do you guys stand for? And everyone was quiet. So he was like, the fact that you guys don't know what you stand for scares me, because he's like, you have to stand for something. And that's really important.
No, yeah. It's a good point.
The last thing I want in my life is to be the reason why someone's life did not succeed or they failed was solely on the words that I said, and they took it upon it and they thought that was gold. Like, a beautiful example is Gary Vee. Obviously, Gary Vee came out a few years ago, started a movement, and became this person and this voice for a new generation. And his message is, hey, screw the school system. You could do it yourselves, obviously, right?
Well, a lot of people
say that. And he has these tools and tips. But the thing is, it's one thing to say the idea, but to reinforce it and to make it the end all or be all, like his rhetoric is, if you do not do this, you won't achieve anything in life. Do you know how many kids are going to have the option, not even the option, the willpower to not go to school because of what he said, and therefore not even try,
but you can't
and therefore
blame
have
him.
to live with the consequences for the rest of their lives?
But you can't really fully blame him, though.
You can't, of course.
You can't.
The reason I'm not blaming him, the reason why is because he never ever gives the ultimate side of actually school is a positive thing, and here's why. He's always
Yes,
saying this is why you shouldn't go to
but
school.
you have to understand, for someone like Gary Vee, he's spoken about school multiple times. There was one video where he said if you want to go to school, like you can go. But I think for him, people talk about their projective of insecurities. Like for example, he just I guess he went out of a way, and out of in his days it definitely it was probably a little bit harder to become an entrepreneur because in terms of technological advancements, it wasn't as hard. They never had social media where they can just post one freaking video on TikTok and it blows up, or IG. But yes, I don't think Gary Vee cares if people listen to the advice and fail. That's not his fault. That's your fault.
You know, I just wish that he would explain more about school.
Of
I
course,
think,
because
I
like
think,
if you don't care, then that's insensitive in a way.
whenever he talks about school, don't you ever feel that there's a little bit of a bias there because he never was successful at school?
Of
That
course,
he
I can think the
not
same
to
thing
say
for
he's
myself.
wrong, not to say he's
Okay,
wrong, because he might relate to a number of people. Like he might relate to like who like listen, I love school. I used to love school, not as much as I do now. I mean, like I do still enjoy going to university. I still do enjoy seeing my friends in class. But sometimes I look at the work that I'm doing and I'd be like, why are they teaching me this, and why are we not applying this knowledge?
yeah.
I think if he would have just explained how applied knowledge is really important, and if you were to just learn something 1 year in school and try to apply it in a real life situation or try to emulate that, like bring a little bit more positivity to school, because it's not an entirely bad system. Even though I just
But
told you that my professor had basically
look,
worked a lot of years in school just to teach other kids, you know.
there's a fine line between. We have to understand for people that are listening. There's a fine line between education and school.
Hmm.
School has turned more into a business, and that's what it is. Like for example, when it's time to pay your payments, they want the payment before you start your classes. Now, for Gary Vee to say, for any other, I know other like entrepreneurs or like digital marketing say the same stuff. Like I've heard all of them say the same thing about school. Their problem is that the education system has not changed. They've seen the same system. Like now, for example, they're adding financial literacy, I believe for high school, if I'm not mistaken.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Which hey, it's actually a good move because I feel it's important that kids at a young age should know how to pay taxes, should know bank terms, as opposed to like going to the like after. I know people till at my age that don't know how to do their own taxes, and then mind you, like it's not a big thing, but obviously when you go to the real world, if you live on your own, you should know how to do it, or at least know the basic concept. To add on to Mo's point about him not caring, I don't believe he has to care because think of anybody. Do you think, for example, like Drake cares what people say about him? He doesn't. That's what makes him successful. Gary
But
Vee,
It's not what he cares what people say. It's the message behind his words because you don't
no,
realize
but if
the
he's
weight.
Mo, if he's
Gary
preaching it, if he's sorry,
Gary
yeah, go on.
Gary does talk about finding your calling. He does. You know what he talks about? I see a lot of it in his videos, not about exactly being your own boss, but being happy. Like he says that if you're happy doing something, go do it. If you find, and I think that message, I don't think it comes as clear as many people would want it to come. Like, he's not specifically giving examples about school, but he's giving examples about anything. He just said you could be happy. If you want to, drop out of school and you want to start your own business and you become successful, boom, you're happy. You're doing what you want to do because you thought of something. You said, hey, you know what? I want to work at it like for repetition and see what happens. And then
And
boom, you finally hit a point and then you just keep going. You're on a roll.
and
Or
yeah,
or you could, if you'd like, if you find happiness in mopping floors at a university, that there's nothing wrong to it because at the end of the day, you're happy, you won. He doesn't make that clear enough. I know, like he says that you should be happy, but even though he doesn't kind of
dude,
reinstate it that way, but yeah, that's just the whole point.
dude, if I ask you right now, like a question, what makes you happy? Who influences you? You should have the answer deep down because obviously that's an answer. For Gary Vee, when Gary Vee says something like, he posted a video on TikTok. He's like, for all you influencers who want to be influenced but act like assholes after, and think you're the shit now because you have all this clout, and now your fans come up to you ask for an autograph and a picture. You say no. He's like, you're an asshole. He called them out. He called all these like young entrepreneurs out. He's like, who do you guys think you are? It's like, So for him to also play devil's advocate on the influencer side shows you. I'm not saying how real, because I don't know the guy personally. I'm just saying that whatever he's putting out there is how he feels, and clearly he's not going to go back on it. There was a video, actually. Go watch it. Someone's talking to Gary Vee. He's like, "Why do you swear too much?" He basically explained his reasoning, and then she asked him, "Do you swear in front of your kids?" He said, "Yeah, I swear in front of my kids." He's like, because so people live the same way in life. Mohammed, someone can hear this podcast and say, "Damn, like Mohammed, Osama, and Abdul, this guy called Abdul said something wrong." Okay, that's your opinion. I'm not personally saying that you should not go to school. No, you should go to school and see if you like it or you don't.
School is important.
Not everyone can be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, education is important. That's just the whole point. Is education is important. Do you guys know a guy named David Meltzer?
No, never heard of him.
Okay, he's a speaker, entrepreneur, author, and he's wrote a couple of books. He's a co-founder of Sports One Marketing, and his life mission is to empower 1 billion people to be happy. And if you ever see his Instagram, he's never talking about he's almost like what you want him to be. Like Mo, like how you're saying, like, hey, Gary Vee always talks about this, and he influences younger people to like do things that might not be the best choice for them. This guy's telling people like, hey, you know what, you should dropping out of school, not by basically working on you at 24/7, but by pursuing happiness through meeting people, by pursuing happiness through experiencing new different type of things, and just do what you want to do. Like it's to be successful is a continuous chase. It's a continuous process, right? Would you guys agree that like, hey, you know what, being happy and like being successful and finding that one thing that just like gets you in the zone every single day is a continuous search?
Well, you said something that captivated me. Being successful and being happy are two different things. A lot of people will say, "Oh, for me to be happy, I have to have money. I have to be successful." Now, success, like we also talked about this in our other podcast about success is not defined by money. A lot of people just they think that money will make them happy. So they think the more money they have, the more successful they are, which is totally not true.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I don't think money is, oh my God. I just hate it when people are like, hey, you know what? I want to be rich. I want to be this. I'm like, dude, like you're looking at the wrong thing, man. Like your goal shouldn't be, hey, I want to be $1 billion rich. Your goal should be, hey, I want to be able to empower others to be happy, to be able to, set an example, like just be an example for others to follow. And all those things, fame, money, those things will come soon, but just focus on the work.
Yeah, just to add on to your point, for me, like if someone said they want to have $1 billion, that's fine. Like I'm happy for them. You could do it, by all means, go do it. I just find that should never be your end goal. Like,
no, man.
For example,
once you reach that, go ahead.
And I was gonna say, once you start chasing materialistic things like cars or like girls or like boats, yachts, houses, stuff like that, you're just gonna go. There's gonna be a point where you'll start going crazy. All of us, it's nice to have all that stuff. Believe me, like if any one of us had that stuff, you'll be happy. Like, damn, like I'm financially free. Like I've never had this when I was a kid. But to say, like for example, a goal would be, for example, I want to be synonymous with like business. So like when people think of empowering, they think of me. That they see a leader amongst other leaders and they say this person stands out and says, wow, he's actually influenced a whole generation. That's actually achievable. Whatever, you could do that. You see something wrong within the business, you're like, I want to change that.
Mo, what's with all the silence?
No, I'm just listening. I'm just listening to everyone's conversation. I don't know if you heard our past episodes, but usually if a guest comes on the show, I like to listen, hear their thoughts, and therefore eventually ask a question. Yeah. I wasn't here for the first 20 minutes, but I guess the question I'd love to ask you, Abdul, would be if you let me see. Okay, here's a cool question. All right, so obviously you like doing different things. You like creating music, photo editing, all these different kind of styles, right? In different formats and mediums, right? Mm-hmm. Now, this is a good question. If you could choose to do one sort of medium, what would you do and why?
one sort of medium of all the things that I do.
Yep, because you're a creative person. So if you could choose one, which one would it be and why?
I feel most I guess comfortable whenever I'm doing, or like not well, yeah, I'm more comfortable. Like I feel more um satisfied, or feeling like I'm doing really well in this thing when I do photography and photo editing.
Mm-hmm.
I really like photo editing, and I always looked at like graphic design as well
Yeah.
as a second to that. And I was like, you know what, maybe I should probably take a course in photography, or even graphic design, and
Mm.
try to learn from there, because graphic design it's something really creative that, and I'm a very creative person. I'm more creative than I am good with numbers or good with other pieces of information. But
Yeah.
my whole thing is like, I was like, when I started making all those like Vogue covers and stuff like that, people were like, whoa, like I made mine first and then I posted it, and then people were like, yo, you should like make mine for me.
Yo, where's my Vogue
Yeah.
cover, bro?
I'm working on it, bro. I'm working on it. But it's a creative process. It's something that's fun to do. And
Yeah.
because it's creative, you can do whatever you want. I mean, obviously make it you have to fit a certain criteria when you're making a specific piece of art. But the whole point is you're doing what you could do. You have ability, you have like multiple options. Everything is kind of like free base. It's not very rigid system. You feel me?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
my next question, sorry, I have one more question. So obviously you picked one, which is photo editing, but since you're a creative person and you do a lot of things, what do you think that comes from? Does that come from your lineage? Does that come from being inspired by different arts, or did it come from like watching someone? Where do you think your creative instincts comes from?
I feel like a lot of it might come from my sister, but not. It's like an indirect force.
Oh,
I feel
okay.
like I feel like my sister's very into fashion. She's very into, um, you know, more fashion than me, but like she's very into like that type of stuff. And she was even into photography as well for a
Mm-hmm.
while. And I was like, I really want. I think what influenced me was like I really wanted to know what she was doing when she was taking photos. Like I had no idea, like it kind of how good an image would look if you just bought a camera and just
Uh-huh.
started shooting photos and then edited it later. I mean, there's some people I follow on Instagram who have amazing, amazing photography, and they
Yeah.
travel the world, and it's a very great thing. Also the other thing that kind of comes with it is you get to travel too. Like there's some sense of like, hey, I get to have some freedom, and in this entire like the world is freaking huge. You can
Huge.
travel to so many places, meet so many people. I mean, there's some amazing things you could learn from
Yeah.
photography, and
I
it's
have.
just also your buddy who photographs all those cars.
Oh, MOBA.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's sick, man. He's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Shout out to that guy, bro. He's in Kingston right now.
Oh yeah.
Him and the other boys are going on a vacation. But I had a question for you though. So because it kind of led into Mo's second question. So who would you say are five people that influence you on a date, like who have influenced you and who do influence you? So either or.
Five people. Definitely my sister. That's number one. My older sister. Um, Second person. My uncle. My uncle. He's also a really creative person, but he's also an intellectual man. This guy is
Mm-hmm.
he thinks he's a one of a kind person. This guy is he used to be a DJ, like just
Oh,
Cool.
kind of like
geez, that's dope. That's dope.
he used to freelance just like around Europe and stuff because he lived in Holland, and he
Oh,
went to
Uh-huh.
okay.
Spain and like did like a house party. He was like a DJ at a house party, and man, he was sick, man. He was like on another level. But him, my sister, um, it's hard to think of people who are influences, man.
Well, let's do it with your two. So you said
Kanye.
no, Kanye, hell no, bro. So
I feel like from an indirect stance, like yeah, you know
Yeah,
what, you could say like an artist like Kanye, or you
I can
could
see it.
say um people like that.
Yeah,
I
I see his
I I,
influence
I
on you.
like that energy of and I would even say there's this guy one of the people who I work with, Lean. I think you guys had an interview with her.
Yes, that's
She's
she's the
very, very
homie.
cool, man. Yeah.
She's the homie.
Amazing.
She's the
She's a
homie.
very young, like she's a very bright mind. I just love like her motivation. She's very hardworking, and I'm just happy that she's my mentor.
Yeah,
Incredible.
Grateful.
she's
Incredible.
I've actually, it's funny because I've never really met her in person, and I've had her on Instagram for 2 years, but I've always spoken to her about like just random stuff, whether it's about Palestine or it's just
Yeah,
motivation,
no,
success.
she's amazing. She deserves yeah, she's just amazing. That's all I gotta say.
Yo, who keeps smacking? I hear smacking sound like, bro. But honestly, yeah, bro. So it's good. So you said your sister, your uncle, Lean, and Kanye West.
Hmm.
Yeah, see, Kanye West I kind of disagree with after but nonetheless, man. Nonetheless,
Why
Mo,
do
you
you
have
disagree with Kanye West, man? What did he do to you?
honestly, I don't know. I just like ever since this whole Trump stuff, I just don't agree with. Like, I'm just like I'm not gonna go. And obviously, like him running. First of all, him like saying I'm running for president. I'm like, come on, bro. It's like you know nothing
It's not
about.
gonna happen.
Well, he dropped out. He dropped out. He's not going to go through it no more.
It was just a rollout for his new album.
You have to
of
understand
2023.
it's a long process to I guess apply for president. Like it's really not.
You
You
know,
can't just say I'm announcing I'm running for president. I guess
yeah.
like there's a system.
But he was gonna run. He was gonna
You
run
know, come on.
independently, though. He was gonna run independently. You know what? You know what Trump taught me about success? No one in this
Okay.
God-giving earth, no one in this God-giving earth can tell you what not to do. Go back to an older video. Trump was on Oprah Winfrey's show. This is back when he was a normal person, and
If
they asked him, "Would you, if you ran for president, would you win?" This guy said, "Yes, I would." And who knows how what's the word, like how qualified he was then. He's not qualified now, but let me tell you, if there's one subliminal lesson you can learn, is you can do whatever you want and achieve it and be the best at your craft. Even though he's not the best at anything, but that's the lesson that I learned.
That was a beautiful lesson.
Hey Mo, like at least listen, dude. Like listen, you don't want to.
It's too funny. Actually, I do have another question for you. Since you're a really creative person, and obviously like fashion, photo editing, photography, music, all these different things, I know there has to be like either a music video or a movie that like inspired you so much as far as like colors and the visuals and all that things.
Wow.
Like, something you look back to for
This
just
guy-
like inspiration and stuff. There has to be a music video or like a movie that definitely like inspired you as a kid or in your
Yo, he
teenagers,
left.
even now. What is that movie?
He left, bro.
Music videos. What?
He left because he got bored of your question.
What do you mean?
yo, my bad. I dropped out, bro.
Nah, bro. I told Mo. I told Mo. I think you got
That's so
bored.
funny.
Abdul, I told Mo that you got bored of his question, so you left.
I was asking like a sick question, and then it sounds like he left. I thought you were joking. And I like looked at the screen. I'm like, wait, he's gone. What the heck?
Bro, that you know, I'm gonna tell you something right now. That was exactly what was happening, man. I had to take. I'm playing.
This guy's like, yo, Mo,
I
ask
guess
too
you
many
didn't hear my question at all, right? No, you didn't hear it.
I didn't hear the question.
Make the short question before he leaves again.
All right, let me ask it again. All right, so since you're a really creative person and obviously like you're known for doing a lot of different things, I know for a fact there's definitely like either a music video, a movie, or something that gave you like some sort of inspiration as far as like colors, visuals, and different palettes, and like something that just blew your mind when you're either a kid, teenager, up till now. Like, what is that music video or movie that just stands out to you when you look? You have to watch it for inspiration.
Amazing question.
I like really weird stuff. I like stuff that's out of the box that people aren't really comfortable with. Really thought-provoking things. But I really was into this this artist, Mad Villain or Mad.
Yes.
You know him, bro?
Wait,
he was on another planet. This man
who
was
is that?
Legendary. MF Doom
MF Doom.
and Madlib.
Yeah, those guys. Quasimodo was also another one. You know Quasimodo?
Legendary. Of course, I'm a hip hop.
Which one was that? That green thing that was walking all the time.
Yeah,
That one.
I'm a hip hop connoisseur, bro.
That's a lie. Okay, next question.
This is underground, Osama.
No, bro.
Mo, I know underground.
If Quasimodo, like that's not a lot of people know Quasimodo, but
no. You have to be like a geek to know about this.
I would. was a nerd back then.
This is super underground. But that album, that 2004 album, yes, Mad Villain, I definitely could see that influence on you for sure.
Yeah. And then also Kendrick Lamar. I think Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly was one of the it just was so good. Every track on it was just amazing.
That's not when he made that album, that's when I realized he's not an artist, he's a musician. Like that's like Marvin Gaye, Miles Davis. Like he's not an artist or a rapper, like he's a musician. Like there's a difference. And that's when everything changed after my eyes once he dropped that album.
Bro, I just got an issue. If there's gonna be a tornado warning.
What?
Yeah, bro. I'm looking at the sky from my house right now. It looks something close, bro.
I think it's gonna be thunderstorms. Like severe
thunderstorms. They said this a few days ago. Apparently there was a tornado, like a small tornado in Milton.
What?
Yeah, bro.
But I just do want to say, yeah. Well, hopefully it's dark. If you look outside the window, it's gloomy outside.
Have you guys ever seen a tornado?
No.
An actual tornado?
Thank God.
Have you ever seen a tornado or something like that, dude? I've never seen a tornado either, to be honest. But I see videos and I see photos. I'm like, dude, how does this stuff exist? Like, why does this happen?
I'm actually not gonna lie, dude. I'm pretty impressed that you know Quasimodo and Mad Villain. I'm pretty impressed. I'm not gonna lie.
This guy makes it sound like no one knows Mad Villain, bro.
Bro, you have to give it up to my uncle, man. My uncle was the man.
Oh yeah, he said he's a DJ. That makes sense. And from Holland, oh yeah, for sure. Then he definitely put you on for sure.
Jeez, Abdul has that creative side of music. Yeah, but when this guy said Kendrick Lamar, I can 100% see this guy. Kendrick Lamar shaping his personality.
Yo, I remember, Osama, you and me used to have beefs about that, bro. You were like, yo,
Still didn't age well.
But hold on. Okay, hold on. Mo, everybody that you know, this is aside from Abdul, like everybody from because for people that don't know, I've known Mohammed since I was 6 years old. Since I was 6 years old. So everybody that has agreed with me that Mo has the worst taste in music. Anyways, no, but Abdul, to talk about Kendrick Lamar, and I'll say this on the podcast. I can respect his business side, his art, the fact that he will go down as legit one of the greatest rappers of all time. He will definitely go down as one of the greatest rappers of all time. However, it's just not my taste of music. Like I'll listen to any other music. I'm not gonna go out to someone, and sometimes it just did not connect with me. And Mo would play his music in my car, and even Abdul, bro. Abdul would play his music. Yes. I'm like, bro.
It's Kendrick. Kendrick.
Can I explain to you why I picked Kendrick over most rappers?
So okay. Actually, hold on. Let me ask the question. Why is Kendrick Lamar? What does he mean so much to you? What has he done to shape your life?
Have you ever listened to the words he said in any of his songs? It's like a Bible. It's like opening up like a rap Bible, or like something, and he's just preaching words that resonate with a lot of people. It's not just to do, and mostly it is to do with like To Pimp a Butterfly was. Basically, like if it's almost like a documentary, in a rap verse. Like if he rapped a documentary about his like past life, him being a kid, his relationship with his mom, his relationship with friends, how he got into crime, how he got into rap. It was so deep, right?
Yeah.
And then he conveyed that in a way that was like, you know, I want to tell people like, and then he started rapping about like how he was in Africa and he met a kid who was like smarter than him. He thought he had an ego. Like he talked about like how his whole life he thought he knew everything until he met this kid who was younger than him.
Yeah.
And his kid was like exposed him for all the things that he said he is, but he is not. He exposed him for being.
I know everything.
Yeah, I know. I know. And that song was like, whoa,
amazing track.
By the end of the song, he just flipped the entire script on you. It was like, dude, like I said all these things, but I'm really not this man. Like he spoke to people in a way that resonated, and people will listen to that and be like, "Whoa, what this guy is saying just makes so much sense." He's saying something that is provoking it's challenging the way I think.
Of course, and that's what artists are supposed to do. Whether you're a painter, whether you're a musician, whether you're an intellectual thinker, that's what you're supposed to do. Whether you're a director, an actor, that's your job.
Look, obviously speaking. Like we've
not like what Osama listens to, like Miley Cyrus and like.
Okay, hold on. First of all, hold on. You know what's a lie?
And the Wiggles theme song. That's what Osama has on his playlist, bro.
This guy's an asshole. Okay.
It's the magic school bus.
You know what I find funny is how you know the lyrics and I don't. So
No, you play this in your car all the time, bro.
Okay, this guy's a liar, bro. Coming from the guy, what's the show that Mo used to watch? Oh man, I forgot. I gotta ask Jaffer, bro. But yeah, this guy used to watch like freaking Barney or Cuddle Bear. What's that show? He used to watch Cuddle Bear. But
I'm not saying it.
Huh?
It's Care Bears. Everyone used to watch Care Bears. Everyone used to watch
I
it.
used to watch Care Bears.
It wasn't my favorite show, but everyone used to watch it.
That's a lie.
Care
But
Bears. I used to
You
watch
remember Care
Bob
Bears?
the Builder and Monster Truck or something. There was a show. It was Monster Machines.
Abdul knows.
Monster Machine.
Yeah,
Okay.
bro, on TVO Kids, right?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yo, this guy knows.
Throwback.
Bro. This guy knows.
I hated Bob the Builder.
Are
That
you
show
dumb?
was so
Yo, Bob the
boring.
Builder was a legend, bro. Jeez.
You guys like Bob the Builder?
Yo, you're the legend.
That show was boring, bro. You guys watch Roly Poly Oly?
No,
Oh, whoa.
You
that
never watched
sounds
Osama?
don't
Bro,
recall
Roly
it.
Poly Oly is one of the most creative shows I've ever seen in my
Roly
life.
Poly Oly?
Yeah.
It sounds familiar.
It was like how do I describe it? It's like 3D animation, and it's like this family, and they're like, I don't know how to describe it. They're like,
Okay, well, until
like cubes and like different shapes and stuff. It was the
Oh my
most
God, disgusting.
weirdest creative show ever.
There was a show. There was like a 2-minute show they put up every on I think it was a TVO. I don't remember.
Oh, Pingu. Is it Pingu?
Pingu.
No, it wasn't Pengu, but Pengu is awesome. But it was a show. It had all these like cartoon like animals with like faces on them.
Timothy that goes to school?
No, that was an amazing show.
No. It
Come
was
on,
a good
bro.
show, but oh man,
Thomas
I
the
don't
Tank
know the
Engine.
name.
What show did you say, Osama?
Thomas the Tank Engine. That was my favorite show as a kid, bro.
Oh, I like the theme song.
The most memeable.
Yo, I wanna ask. So hold on. So I wanna ask Abdul. I had a question for this guy and I just forgot. Shake my head. Do you guys hear the thunderstorms, by the way?
Oh yeah, I'm not
Dude,
going outside.
my house is like raining right now.
Yeah.
I
Well,
was supposed to go to Toronto today. Oh,
Holy! Did you hear that thunderstorm?
Yeah.
You were supposed to go to Toronto.
yeah. I'm not going to Toronto anymore.
Why? To see Remy?
Yeah. That's too. The weather's crazy. Screw that. I'm okay.
And then Abdul, I hope you know we all live in Oakville, bro. You know Mo moved to Mo lives not close to you now.
Really?
Yeah, bro. Mo lives in Glen Ashton 8th Line area, bro.
No, I do not.
That is very true.
I love biking down Northwest Trail, man.
I always see Abdul on his Snapchats riding his bike, bro, acting like I don't know, just like a sweeter man, bro. There's like no hands on the handles, man. It's like
I was so good at biking at one point that I was able to like basically
Bro, what is
sit
going
on the
on?
side of the bike
yeah.
and go downhill. Just like sit on the side, just let the bike go, and boom. But
Yeah, I
don't
can't
know,
do that no more, bro. I haven't been on a bike in 5 years.
I want to get a
5
bike.
Yeah, bro. Well, Mo,
Listen, man, go for a jog. It's on a very like nice day. Go for a walk. Go for
Not
a
today.
jog.
bro, dude. You should come. You should come with me, bro. I go to the gym every single day outside.
A gym, outside gym.
Yeah, well, it's like we go to
jungle
the
gym.
We no Mo. Okay, we go.
So, you know how loud that is?
Yeah, I heard that, bro. You know what?
Insane.
It's really insane. It legit has. This conversation will definitely be the most interesting one I've had because we've talked about so many things in like within 60 minutes.
Cool, bro. You gotta make it creative.
Dude, honestly, I told Abdul I haven't seen him almost a year and a half, bro. That's crazy. Because I used to see this guy every single day back when I was like, we were working on the same team. Now it's just like, that's it.
It's a perfect day for you guys to meet up.
No, not in this thunderstorm,
Whoa!
bro. Not in this thunderstorm.
Did you just hear that?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
It's like the sky's hungry, bro.
I was just explaining to Osama like also 20 minutes like within the first 20 minutes. I had this really weird dream, bro. I've been having some weird dreams, and people apparently have had dreams about me. Like three of my friends in 1 week have had dreams about me.
In a pleasing way or in a negative way?
Bro, like 2 of them said like I was looking for them and I killed them or something like that. Like I was trying to murder them. The other one came up to me and was like, I was stalking them. I was like, what? Dude. And then I had a dream I was in a cult, bro.
Okay, what the heck are you been listening? What have you been doing recently? Like, this all relates. What movie have you been watching?
Okay, you know what I grew an interest in? Like, I'm not a weird person who goes down a rabbit hole or something like that, but I really am interested in like cults.
That's why.
learning about It's some
That's
weird
the
shit,
answer.
but it's interesting, man. You know what's really interesting? This Jeffrey Epstein thing, bro.
Oh, crazy.
Oh, it's
I'm
like a
not
movie
surprised.
come to
I'm not
real life.
surprised.
It's like a movie come to life.
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
this man, there's a conspiracy out there that he was actually an FBI agent, or he was some secret. He was an agent for like a secret organization.
Yeah.
And that what he would do is his business was to blackmail these rich people so that they would be able to fall in line with some like world order or something like that. So that he would have their number. He'd be like, you basically are my bitch. And now whatever we did, like we would go to this island, we'd basically bang kids,
It's insane.
and you know what's crazy? Bill Clinton flew with him 26 times.
You said Bill Clinton?
Bill Clinton flew with him
Bro,
26
this guy
times.
is hungry, bro.
And he went. One of the times, Jeffrey Epstein brought him to his crib, and he had a painting of him in a dress, like Bill Clinton in a dress.
I heard about that. Yeah, I saw that.
Why? Like, why would you have that?
Bro, that's the thing. The elites, it's all interconnected. But the point is, they don't operate on the foundation of faith and religion and moral principles. It's totally through fornication, indoctrinated beliefs rooted in like evil and weird practices. It's just creepy. It's insane, right? Like they rather have all the like. The thing is, I want to ask you guys this: having the pleasure of having buildings, corporations, and very power structures is a beautiful thing, obviously, right? We all want that and stuff, right? But why is it that people who have so much power?
Oh my God! Why is it that one person has $167 billion to their name, and then basically there's other people all around the world? There's probably like a population of 4 billion, 3 billion people all around the world who can't even afford to, buy clothing, who can't even afford to feed their families. I mean, one person, you have to think about it. One person has $7 billion. Has about $160 billion. Jeff Bezos. Why is it that this man has this much wealth, like an ungodly amount, and then you look at some kid from, I don't know, like South America or Africa, anywhere in Africa, like it's crazy, and they're suffering from diseases and viruses and stuff like that. Yo.